Hello and welcome and good morning to everyone. Welcome to Link to the Cure. My name is Lanxion and I have the privilege, nay the pleasure, of bringing Timespinner to this wonderful marathon. I'm hoping to wake everyone up. I know it's a little early for everyone, but I'm ready to showcase one of my favorite games. Just to kind of give you an insight of what I'm just doing here, Timespinner is a Metroidvania. It came out in 2018 from Lunar Star Games, and it's been absolutely amazing and has changed. Like, I jumped on it and I needed to speedrun it. What you're seeing right here is that the devs have made a speedrun mode for us. It is the accepted any percent mode, so you're going to see some glitches in here. You're going to see some breaking of the game. Nothing crazy. You're still going to see a lot of good movement in boss fights. So without further ado, I'm just going to start us off here. All right, in 3, 2, 1, go. Beautiful. First, you're going to see you are Lunaeus. She is a time messenger, just getting her new time messaging stuff. Story. We get to skip the original thing. We're going into the future because the time spinner was stolen from us. This first part is a lot of very technical movement and mana management and experience route management here. You're seeing I'm doing this little backdash stupid thing here. This is the movement that is the fastest for this game. Backdashing is like the fastest thing you can do in most Metroidvanias. But added with this kick, that we now have to backdash and use a melee attack here. That extends our movement, keeps that movement, backdash movement speed through the air. So it's something we're going to be doing the whole time. As long as we keep our melee animation up, we get to keep that movement going. So, and if it looks like a tedious thing to do the entire run, it absolutely is. But it does make us 30% faster, so it is not an option not to do it. You're seeing what I picked up there was a piece of the time spinner. That allows me to have this nifty little time stop mechanic that freezes everything. The game does a pretty good job of starting you off, being able to use it in really odd situations here. Right now I'm just doing some difficult platforming just to make sure that I have level 2 by the first boss. It does up our damage by 1%, so should level up here. Perfect. Alright, so now we're going to be moving into the first boss. This is Robo Kitty, or the first gatekeeper of the run. His movement patterns are completely RNG, so you can lose from 10 to 20 seconds here just by him doing the wrong thing. This is the best possible thing. He sits there, you get a bunch of hits on his claws. If you're standing close to an enemy, you do get double hits here. This is the worst thing he could be doing. You choose to tank the damage and just hit him there because it is just faster than moving out of the way. That blast to the left was not RNG manipulation. I just missed the guy. Thank you, Squeebo. Congratulations. I'm going to wait for the heal here, just from a marathon safe perspective. Normally, you would just keep going here. I am going to be a little quiet here. This next portion of the run is one of the tightest couple screens we have. The waterway is a cycle-based thing that needs very tight time stopping. Doing that time stop portion right there saves you about 10 to 12 seconds. Doing it incorrectly and falling down is a veritable nightmare. You can see that I'm hitting little sconces. In most other Castlevania games, you're going to see yourself getting the hearts for it. Those, if you don't have full time in your sand vial, it gives you a little extra of that power every time you hit one of these things. We're going to do our first shopping trip here. We're going to talk to the crow. We're going to buy ourselves a gold ring. He's a little weirdo, but we love him. The gold ring is going to come into play for some crafting material later in the game. Right here, we're going to pick up a new spell, a new augment to our weapon, and an ether that we're going to be using later in the route to ensure we have enough mana for a boss. So the rest of the Vardengrade Metropolis here that we're in is just solid movement and making sure that we're getting enough experience for the experience route of the game. Right here, this is a little conveyor belt here. Some small optimization is that you can do the risky dashing, but RTA, it's not exactly the most viable thing. So what I equipped there was the Colossal Blade, which will be a new spell that I can use. It's a gigantic sword that just smashes everything on the screen. It's exceedingly helpful and is the spell we're going to be using for the rest of the game. We put a ring on here called the Scythe Ring. It just adds blade damage to all of our swords. Some enemies are weak to blade damage, so we keep that on to increase our damage for the first part of the game. We're going to be crafting something a little later that's going to help us out a lot more than the Scythe Ring was. The Scythe Ring used to be something that we used in the original route of the game, but we don't do it anymore. Gonna do some cutscenes. We're gonna find that we're in the future here, and here is the Timespinner. We're trying to figure out why this thing's in the future and what we can do to kind of get back. So, right here we're gonna see a couple screens of spiders. We're gonna ignore them and use our time stop ability to kind of make sure that we take as little damage as possible. Don't need anything in that just now. Right here, we're gonna see some gargoyles. We're gonna get a level up here. Like, ooh. You're supposed to kill the second gargoyle. They're worth a lot more experience than the rest of the enemies here, so they're crucial to the experience route. Kill these guys, just also part of the experience route. Easy kills because they are right in front of us. Right now, this whole place is kind of a big, long maze puzzle where you have to get these key cards to open certain doors and get an elevator card that's going to bring us to our first boss. But first of all, we do have a quick errand we want to be running before we do that. As you have seen, I've been picking up these little shining balls, and the way you're going to see one down here. Those are memories. They're kind of the lore part of the game, but they also give you 250 entropy, which is also money. We needed the money for a couple of for the items early, for the gold ring earlier, and we're gonna need it to pick up some warp shards later. So now we have the gold ring and the essence crystal. Those are two items that are going to help us create the bleak ring later. I took a short detour down to that room down there. That's gonna help us. We have to backtrack later. By opening that up now, it's a lot faster getting back here. So here we go. So we have another obnoxious spider room. I just choose to freeze the whole thing. Normally I would go straight up here, but we're going to go over here to make a safety save just to make sure, nothing goes wrong in the marathon. I wouldn't want to throw the time off here. Alright, so this is the Vardengroth, or just the Eye. This guy is totally scripted if you are standing in the right proper positions the whole time. If you're an astute observer here, you notice that I'm really, really close to this enemy. You're getting more damage numbers than you normally would. By standing close to an enemy, you can get double hits on the return hit of your weapon. So you try to get as close to humanly possible to enemies. Should die right here. There we go. You try to get as close to enemies as possible to try to make increase your damage output. I'm gonna take the heal here just in case. And here we're going to have the most annoying lag fest on the planet. That is my F. He's kind of the mascot for this game. He helps you out. He will show up if you die, or right there if you haven't been there yet. But he is obnoxious. I turn him off later in a menu so that he doesn't lag. One of the major skips of the game. Here we're going to choose to kill a couple of those guys. Get that massive hitbox to get these Roombas out of the way. So now that we got a piece of the Timespinner, we think that maybe we can go back up to see the Timespinner in the future age here and see if we can get back home and see what happens here. There's a small spoiler here, that's just not going to work. we got teleported farther in the past. Who would have thunk it? So right here, we're going to come upon one of our first NPCs. We are going to grab the Bleak Ring. Oops. I want to talk to her and actually purchase the Bleak Ring, right? So you're going to get a checkpoint here. So we're not going to equip the Bleak Ring yet, as it's not necessary, but what it does is that the more, when you equip it, the more damage, more consecutive hits you put on an enemy, the more your damage goes up to double your damage. Conversely, though, that means that you also take the proportional amount of damage from enemies when they hit you. So you deal double damage, and you take double damage. So it's a high-risk, high-reward item, but it really speeds up the speedrun here. I'm going to touch on the second part of the speedrun mode here. You've seen a couple chests kicking around here that are all silver. The speedrun mode, what it does is it makes sure that all enemies drop their rare drop and all chests drop their rare item. This was something that was implemented by the dev because he wanted to see a much more consistent speedrun. So we were dealing with 5% and 2% drops respectively for some enemies. He just smoothed this out so we kind of do that. Now, it's pretty cool because now we had a lot more routing options available to us. So you're going to see me picking up several different items that are going to really boost my power. Just some tight platforming spot here. Nothing we need to kill here. Quick cutscene. Yeah, so yeah, it was really exceptional. Like I cannot. At first, that he didn't want to change the integrity of the game at all, and then when he said, you know, but I do have an elegant solution here. How about a speedrun mode? And we were like, absolutely, because we were grinding thousands of attempts just trying to get subpar RNG, and you would once you just didn't get the end, it made the resets impossible. On top of the cat RNG in the first boss losing you about 10 to 15 seconds to run, it could go a little crazy. So, some more tight platforming with some excellent music to boot. Get over this guy. Okay, so now here we're gonna change to the Bleak Ring here. This is gonna be our first boss here, the Azure Queen. I will kind of fight her and kind of explain it to you after it's done here. You want to get into a certain point in front of her, so that she does this attack, it doesn't push you towards the wall. If you're a pixel behind right where I'm standing right now, that attack will jam you to the wall. We're going to do some nifty getting behind her strats here. Oh no, we are not. We're going to use an item here. Oh no, we are... That is not how you're supposed to fight Azure Queen. Okay, taking a death right here. So now I'm going to show you exactly how this happens. What you're supposed to do is be getting behind her. Let's try this again. Oh my goodness. That's okay. So you use a damage iframe from that attack to jump through her and attack her from behind. But if you time stop too early, it does see, so here we go. This is a little more my speed here. If you do this during any one of her other attacks, in between her attacks, she will expel you. There we go. And she is down. Nothing to see here. Not a huge time loss considering the save point is right there, but minor is. Really wanted to show you how to actually fight that boss, huh? These are the Succubus twins. We will find. They gave us our first portent into the our first ability to travel quickly throughout the realms here. So, as in all Metroidvanias, we now have the ability to move from checkpoint to checkpoint with the twin pyramids. Now we're going to... They kind of gave us a taunt, so we're going to go hunt them down. And we're going to find out that they are actually possessed by demons. Can't be good. more enemy killing here. I am still flailing my melee to keep my speed up. So far, we've only equipped the pointy hat. We're looking forward to be gaining some other materials. We're going to be getting a lab coat and some lab glasses later to really increase our damage. Just climbing up the tower. I'm gonna get one of them. As you see, a lot of these rooms are just like either tight movement or tight jumping abilities here to get through as fast as possible without taking as much damage, while maintaining this backdash jump melee on the same frame animation. Here's the castle keep. You're going to see maybe some slight movement tech and a nice new damage boost that was just introduced to the run, probably a couple weeks ago. Kill this guy too. So now we're coming upon the one of these auto drops here, the Advisor's Robe. This is one of the enemies you would reset on if you did not get. That is an early level up, so good. For safety message, we can also use those robes to sell later if you want potion. Right there, they used the ether, as I mentioned, as part of the route. Normally, you would ether there to make sure that you get to skip this save point. Muscle memory there for me made me actually go ahead and use it. Small optimizations, like when you pick up an item, if you press the pause button at the same time, it brings you right to the menu where it was. Since there was a Chaos Rose there, it brings you to the menu. Here's the Succubus Twins again. They both have different health pools. You just have to kill one of them. And now I'm going to attack the one on the right to gain some stacks. This is the Golden Idol, the real boss, the real demon that was holding them down. You do not want to get hit by this guy. He will cause chaos. It just causes your sand to drain. Every boss, when they go below half health, they do a desperation attack. This is Golden Idol's desperation attack right here. And we're going to pop back up here. He's going to remove his thing here, and then this should be the last phase. He's going to do a drop down. We're going to get some hits on him. He should die. Pretty clean fight. You want to try to, you can usually kill him before he does one more drop down, but that was a pretty clean fight overall. I'm not going to waste for the heal here because we are already healed, but we got the golden hairpin. This gives us a nice double jump now. We've all played Metroidvanias, so now we have this. The cool part about the speedrun for this now is that since I was keeping my speed increased while doing my melee jumps, now that can be extended quite far with a double jump as well. So you're going to see that in kind of some rooms going forward. Like I can get a lot of really good distance, and it does cut down some human error while trying to get these risky dashes nice and tight. There's kind of a sequence break jump there. You kind of usually have to go all the way around, but if you can do this risky dashing, saves you a couple seconds. Nothing crazy, but small optimizations, right? Yeah, so doing the extended risky dashes there kind of saved us some time. We're going to come up on our second shop menu of the game here. We're going to meet our friend the Raven again. This time we're going to pick up a couple warp shards. This is going to kind of allow us to and then what I'm going to do here is first for some marathon safety, we're going to sell some those and purchase some potions here. just to make sure we're staying a little marathon safe, you generally just skip all that. You generally just get the warp shards there. Nice little tower skip here. That saves probably about 15 or 20 or so seconds. Usually you have to go out around a way room, but if the game does add some really nifty little, if you're good at time-stopping features. We're going to kill 2 of these guys, get these robes, and then you're going to see my first equipment change here. And now this is a big change from the normal part of some runners. So optimally, you want to be fighting this guy, this next boss, with the blue orbs. But if using some pretty nifty time stop techniques, but on the cooldowns of the blades, you can do some serious damage to Alana. So let me do this, and I will discuss it on the way out. While the blue orb is by my count a second more optimal, RTA, this is a much more viable strategy, even though it is. There we go, and that is Alana down. I did a lot of time stopping there. That was just to kind of stave off the cooldowns here. So we're gonna switch back to the blue orb. We took the familiar off, and then we're gonna use the warp shard. We're gonna be heading back to the castle ramparts. Kyle Davis, thank you so much for the huge donation, man. I really appreciate it. So thank you so much for 50. Thank you so much for your generosity. So we're going to be heading back this way. You've probably seen this already, but we're going to be heading to the major skip that kind of makes this a glitched run. We're just called the Maw skip. The skip we're going to see is going to be a way for us to clip, say, 4 minutes of the run, and we get to skip an entire section of the game and a mini boss. So we'll do a safety save here. So what you don't have noticed that I'll kind of explain this trick as we're going. The time stop mechanic is a little finicky sometimes. If an enemy is on top of your head while you're time stopped, he is a physical object that you can stand on and can attack you. So what happens is that we're going to see us kind of get pushed into the ground. So I'm going to show you Maw skip, and then hopefully be able to explain it afterwards. Major barrier for the run. We just kind of got together a much faster way of doing it. So let me see if I can take this down. Oh, and that is a very small chance to void out. So let me try this again here. That is something that is completely, you can get it right, and it's completely out of your control as to whether you void out or not. There we go. So the game tries to put you to the closest loading zone it possibly can, but it does take a second or two to get there. So what happens is that because there's a lower room down there, you do cross a threshold that triggers the cutscene to the next room, and then it doesn't know, it just drops you right into the next room. So this is Maw, the next fight. This is all you have to do. I appreciate some coding mistakes here. He has exactly one attack that is his desperation attack that can hit you. Every other attack in it cannot hit you at all. You need to have at least 90 HP coming in here to make sure that you can tank this attack. But other than that, take him down easy peasy. So like I said, like that skip we just did saved 4.5 minutes in this run. It is a major barrier of entry why the New Game Plus was created, because people don't like to do it. So now that we've killed 3 bosses, so things that you've done in the past change how they do things in the future. Earlier in the game, before Varnagoth, we did grab this checkpoint for this reason. If you come here before you kill any of those final 3 bosses, there's laser beams here. But because we killed the Maw, technology is disrupted in the future, and so a satellite came down and just crushed that thing. So we're able to get into probably some of the most banging music. This is a very dangerous platforming spot. Just because everything in here hurts a lot. So now we're trying to, for a small lore update, we're going after the person who kind of suppressed the people in the past and trying to figure out what happened there. That is going to be Genza, who is the kind of orchestrated a lot of this, along with the Emperor of this place. So those are the two next and final bosses we're going to be going after here. We're going to see another glitch on the way here, though. We're going to be doing the crouch block glitch to get the dash ability. This saves about glitch up here is about to save us 45 seconds from backtracking through the lab to turn the lab on. Perfect. What you're doing here is you're pressing down, backdash, and down, melee, and backdash at the same time. What it means that her hitbox is no longer just in her head; it's in her feet as well. The way the game registers hitbox is you can jump through the roof by double jumping on the very top frame. You can jump through every roof in the game here doing this. The problem is that we have not found places that you can get back out. So we're going to put the blade orb back on here. The next boss we fight is incredibly weak to the blade damage, so she is going to melt. So we got the lab glasses, we're going to get the lab coat. Those are two of the things that we always had to grind. This was a major reset point. If you didn't get the lab glasses or the lab coat prior to getting speedrun mode, you just couldn't complete the run in a fast. It shaves minutes off the time here. Ooh. Little time stop snafu here. So we're going to grab this save. We don't usually do it in the run, but we're going to go over here and fight Genza. Genza. So I'm going to take this heal from Genza here. And then we're going to do we're going to take off back on the blade orb. Right. The reason that we did have a significant change in routing to go get it's so funny. It's all the bosses. I don't know. She likes to laugh. I'm not exactly sure what's going on. So we did have to learn every fight with the blue orb. Because of the new skip here. So, all right, now this is going to be a nice, another nifty tower skip here. We do just a little enemy manipulation. If we're behind this guy, he will never fire something at us. And that skip right there saves us about probably over a minute here. Little demon boy. So we're just going to get rid of so all of these enemies right now are way too strong for us to kill. So we're just going to dodge them all. That guy right there can 3-shot us, so we tried that to do here. So, all right, time to fight a guy with a startling representation to us. That he looks just like us, so there's no bearing on the story like that at all. I can't imagine. So, this is Emperor Nuvius and the final boss of the End percent of the run. He will 3-shot you, so you do need to be very careful. But all of his attacks are scripted. He does the same thing over and over again in a cycle. And time will be when you pick either one of these two options here. So I'm going to leave here. And that is time for me. Thank you for the GGs. So the bird death was a little unfortunate, but just to kind of give you a kind of a shout out to this game. Actually, I'll continue here so we can get some sweet music, but kind of shout outs to the developers of this game for being really friendly to the speedrunners of the game while trying to maintain a casual experience. I do implore any of you to go out and play this game. If you kind of go there, there's a very rich story if you want to dig into it, if you want to get into all the quests, and it's very inclusive friendly, and a very exceptionally well written game. So yeah, it was I am a big fan of this, so I really do thank you guys for letting me run this, and I hope you guys keep donating and keep enjoying the rest of the run. I'm gonna kind of go. So I know that our next runner is going to be my boy, the Sabin. He's going to be bringing you a nice treat, the Donkey Kong Country 2, Diddy Kong's Quest. He's going to be running the 90% for us here. So, and I know all y'all in chat love Sabin. So let me, I really do appreciate the chance to do this and the chance to follow that great speedrunner. So, I'm gonna flip up and I might keep up some nice some ambient music here. And until we get the Sabin back in here. So thank you so much, guys.